Said another way, I want to wring every bit of potential out of myself that's possible. Because having potential is very different than doing something with that potential.
You have to attend to your guilt and your self-disgust and your self-contempt and your self-consciousness.
You have to search within yourself. You have to find that inner strength. Do not look for motivation. You must decide to, regardless of how you feel.
I'm not here to preach to you about this. I'm here to let you know that there are things that are going on around you. Right now, they are far greater than your complaining. You're complaining about so much, but yet you show no action. If you could trade places with someone right now, and the person that you're trading places with may have it just a little bit tougher than you have it going on in your life. Right now, so many people are suffering from so many things in this world at this moment. But yet you're complaining. So many people in this world right now wish they could trade places with you, but yet you're still complaining.
And in all of us, I believe, is a massive reservoir of latent potential that can be applied to accomplish the extraordinary. But you have to know what it is. All right, here's my method for developing new skills to cross that skill gap between who you are today and who you're going to need to become in order to execute on the things that you want to execute on. Number one, always be reading. I believe the greatest gift that any great thinker can offer the world is to take the time to write down all of their insights. They say a fool never learns, a smart man learns from his mistakes, and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have spent a lot of time being a fool. I've spent a reasonable amount of time being smart, but oh man, it is precious few times when I've truly been able to be wise and learn from someone else.
You have to understand that the manifestation of those emotions might well indicate a moral failing on your part or a lack that needs to be addressed, while at the same time considering that it is not a straightforward matter to deal fairly with yourself, and you can be too tormented by your conscience, too rigid, too responsible, take on too much weight onto yourself, deny yourself in a manner that isn't sustainable, and so forth, that a moral code, a moral way of being can become too rigid and inflexible.
But virtually every time I was able to get some wisdom, it was at the hands of an author. When people ask me who my mentors were, I always tell them it's the authors that I've read. Books contain the secrets to the universe. And right there on my slide, if you can pull that back up, is the most important mathematical equation you're ever going to see. I equals IO. Ideas in equal ideas out. That is so important. If any of you have ever struggled with feeling worthy because you don't have original ideas, do not fret. I'm willing to accept, fine, all the original ideas that are ever going to be thought, they've already been thought. It doesn't matter to me. It's totally irrelevant. What makes each and every one of us the beautiful snowflake that we all know that we are inside is that we make unique connections between old ideas. The very time that you're living in, with the very experiences that you had, mean that you're going to make connections that other people just wouldn't make. But you've got to be getting that stream of ideas in order to make those connections.
And despite its putative aim upward, be something counterproductive. I think most of the way out of that, if there is one, is, well, careful thinking. You have to see what your conscience says. You have to see how you respond. You have to capture that voice and your responses, and you have to think it through. But most of that is done in dialogue with other people rather than as the consequence of internal thought. You know, if you have a dispute with your wife or your husband, your intimate partner, sibling, your parents, anybody close to you, and it's useful for each of you in the dispute to ask yourself and the other person very seriously.
You don't have that right to just give up. You don't have that right to just throw in the towel and say that it's over for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to understand that the reason that you are existing in this world right now is because you have things that must be done. and only certain people are qualified to take it to the level that it needs to be taken to, for there should never be a limitation to wherever it is that you are seeking, and how far you are willing to travel, and how far you are willing to go. Sometimes people tend to get a little lazy. Sometimes people like to put themselves in this little bitty box and just say they are okay with where there can never just be an okay to. Anything when it comes to that life, it should never just be a complacent mindset. How do we evolve?
It is never finished. You always have more to do. Another mission, another task, another goal. So don't be finished. Be starting. Be alert. Be ready. Be attacking. Be relentless. Let the enemy stop. Let the enemy rest. Let the enemy finish. You don't finish. Don't stop. Don't rest. Not until the enemy is completely destroyed.
How do you evolve? How do you grow? One thing about success, there are going to be many struggles. There are going to be many challenges, and there are going to be a lot of things that you may not even understand. But you got to go back to where it started. Remember when you wanted more, because you cannot satisfy your hunger with negative energy. Being negative doesn't help you to grow. Being doubtful doesn't give you the power that you need. You have to come to a point in your life that you must realize that there are things that are going on that is testing you. And maybe you may be in a position where you feel that you are broken, or you feeling that you're going to be broken.
Your imagination is a preview of a coming attraction. That's what your imagination is. That's what it's been this whole time. All them times you've been imagining being rich, that wasn't just up there, put it in your head, because that's what he got for you. That big house you keep wanting, put it in your head, because that's what God got for you. When you keep dreaming of taking a summer vacation somewhere, that's because that's what God got for you, because that's a coming attraction that God has for you. That's what your imagination is. You've been tripping. You know how many times you done wrote your imagination off? You know the danger about your imagination? You tell it to the wrong people. That's the danger. You want to kill a big dream? Tell it to a small-minded person. Boy, they'll shoot it down every time, won't they? You know how many wonderful ideas you've had.
Don't cry to quit. You already in pain, you already hurt. Get a reward from it. It's not about where you come from. It's about heart. You come to a place where, being smart ain't enough. You gotta have heart.
So my question to you all is, what's your appetite for winning? Because if you have an appetite for winning, your hunger will drive you every day. Your hunger will take you to the weight room. Your hunger will take you past the opposition. Your hunger will take you past the adversity. Your hunger will take you past the trial and tribulation. And so the moment that you make up in your mind, the day that you make up in your mind that you are going to play this game for God and give everything you got to it, you can't help but to give everything you got. And that's the moment that you will realize it's not about skill. This game is about will.
Everyone has dreams, goals, things they want to do. But saying you want something is not the same as saying you want something so much that you will do anything to achieve it.
I'm here to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that you are built to last. I'm here to let you know that you don't have the right to complain anymore around here. To let you know that you got to keep on living and living on something. I dare you to take a trip to your local hospital, and if you have an opportunity to walk,